Hey, what's up, everyone? This is the watch list video for Monday, October 10th. Starting off with the SPY Daily, as I always do. And I mean, it was just a few sessions ago. Let's move the chart over. It felt like, hey, we just bottomed and short squeeze from here, and and it's up from here, right? It kind of felt like that, even though I've been saying in my videos we're only up to the falling 20-day. This is kind of an important area, and then lo and behold, in just a couple days, the SPY's down like almost $20, and we're down near recent lows. And I've been mentioning sentiment a lot, right? When we had this big pop here, and it held the 360 level, right? It felt like buyers were stepping in, and I talked about how just 2 days later, really the next day, all that was erased, and we're right back down, and how that was going to really kind of hurt bullish sentiment. But then the shorts that got short here the next day got hammered, right? So the market's not making it easy, and I talk about this all the time. Near these important levels, the market doesn't make it easy for people playing, the bounce or people shorting, and both sides are getting burned, right? Because a lot of shorts probably jumped in when we lost the 360 level, and then they just got decimated, and now we're back down again. Having said all that, it does feel like the sentiment's pretty bad out there, and there is a whole lot of ugly out there. I looked at a lot of charts this weekend, and none of them made me feel really good. So again, I don't make any money trying to predict what the overall market's going to do, but you can kind of feel the sentiment pretty weak and maybe getting even weaker. So just be careful out there on the long side. And for me, I'm a long bias trader. I'm only going to take. By the way, there's still stuff to trade, even if the market's almost crashing. There's still stuff to trade on the long side if you wait for the A plus setups, right? Sector wise or oversold bounce wise, that sort of thing. Anyway, let's get to it. Tesla is just straight down for like a week and a half. It's getting near levels that it had really nice bounces off of, right? I'll mention a couple of the recent lows right here, 206.85, a little bit higher here in June at basically 209, and we've fallen pretty quickly from just roughly almost 290 down to 223 in a little over a week. So I'm not bullish on the chart, but we are nearing bounce levels, or I should say some support levels, or levels that it's bounced off of recently, and we've gotten there kind of quickly. So Tesla, especially if we were to gap down tomorrow and then push down below these levels, I would be looking down in this area for an intraday snapback bounce. So something to think about. SNTI, one of the strongest stocks in the whole wide world last week, right? And then we had kind of an ugly day on Friday. I'd like to see another red day, but look at the volume compared to the up days, way lower. So I am going to put this on bounce watch as early as Monday, only if we get an A plus setup. CVS, I think there's either a rumor or maybe it's been verified that they're buying, I can't even remember the company now, but a healthcare company. Not sure if that's been verified, but CVS got slapped on it, being the acquiring company. It fell pretty far to break these June lows. At one point, I was looking at this for an intraday bounce. I never did take a trade in it, though. I kind of just started looking at other stuff because this was pretty slow. Never got involved, but it might be overdone to the downside, especially if some news comes out about that that buyout that maybe alludes to them not taking it. And again, I don't know if it's final, but I am going to put that on bounce watch. Remember, I'm a day trader, so I'm just looking for ways to make money the very next trading day. So AERC had this big pop on a merger announcement, and now you're down like 3 days in a row. It's almost round trip though, but I'm going to put it on bounce watch because maybe that merger is still worth something. And it had a huge move, 4 sessions ago? So I am going to put that on bounce watch. GNRC is a little bit random. This is the one that gets going whenever a hurricane's getting ready to hit, right? Generac, generator maker. We didn't have a big hurricane season, and the chart kind of reflects that, right? And now after the last one, that's over, so we're kind of getting almost downside shape. And let's look at the weekly real quick. This thing was as high in late 2021 as $524, and now we're down around 150. So I'm not really looking at the chart saying, hey, there's great support in the area. Again, it's just another one that I stumbled across, if you will, and it feels oversold. So we're going to trade it if we get a setup, but I almost think we need to get a little more downside shape on that one. Or a hurricane on the radar, right? AMT, pretty decimated, but 3 big days down in a row on increasing volume. Let's go to the weekly here. Back here in 2021 and then back over here in 2020, we're kind of, we've taken out the 2021 levels and we had this massive reversal in 2020. Weekly wise, it's gotten there pretty quickly, right? From over 260 down to below 200. So I'm going to keep an eye on that one for a snapback bounce as well. That's AMT, ABEO. Very great relative strength on Friday. So we'll see if we get a follow through setup on that one. Another great relative strength stock was AEHR. I believe they had good earnings, if I'm not mistaken. Big volume and a strong close, and maybe some catalysts up here on the chart. Goes on long watch. PEGY was really strong. Then we had the gap down on Friday, but it closed strong. So that's worth keeping on our radar. And lastly, BKD, which I think is talking about maybe putting themselves up for sale. Big volume, closing well off its highs though. We'll add gappers to this list in the pre-market. Should be plenty to trade. Just make sure it's A+, and make sure you're keeping an eye on the overall market. I have no idea how we're going to open up or down tomorrow, but it doesn't matter if we wait. And what do I always say? If there's nothing to trade, trade nothing, right? Otherwise, we'll wait for the A+ setups. All right, I'm done babbling. See you in chat.